Hey, hi, how are you? Thanks for coming over. Well, we did it, friends. We've made it through half the week. Happy Wednesday, weeknight Wednesday. This calls for a quick and easy meal. So, to help us cruise through the rest of the week and glide smoothly into the weekend, we're going to do a casserole. I have shredded chicken, I have ham and Swiss cheese. Let's do a chicken cordon bleu casserole. We'll whip up a nice creamy little sauce, throw it all together, do a little breadcrumb topping. Boom, dinner will be done. So to start, I'm going to get my noodles boiling. And while the noodles are boiling, I'm going to whip up a creamy sauce. I think I'm going to do a light cream sauce, maybe with a hint of Dijon mustard. I don't know if it normally comes like that, but for some reason, when I keep thinking chicken cordon bleu, I keep thinking of like a Dijon mustard. So I'm going to make a light hint of a creamy Dijon mustard dressing, or not dressing, but like a sauce, kind of like an Alfredo sauce ish, but not so heavy on the garlic, but with just a hint of Dijon mustard. And I think I have to go check and see what noodles I have. But I think we're going to do the bow tie or the farfarelli or whatever they're called. But I think that's what we're going to do. Well, so hopefully, let's go look. And if I have them, that's what we'll do. And if not, I guess we will use what we have. Well, I have them. Looks like my box has seen better days. So I don't think they're all crumbs are falling out the bottom. So I think they've been pretty crushed around. I don't know how that happened. And right at this point, it doesn't even matter. I'm just going to cook them up. We're making a casserole, so they're all going to get thrown together anyway. So let's get these boiling, and then we'll start on our cream sauce. Okay, we got our water, salted water boiling over here. And I got 3 pats of butter I'm going to melt down in the saucepan to start the sauce. Okay, to my melted butter, I'm going to put about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream in. Give that a little stir, get the butter incorporated. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of garlic with the sauce, or not with the sauce, but with the juice. Give that a stir. I'm trying not to go full Alfredo sauce, but it's very difficult to do. So I'm going to let this simmer a little bit, and once the cream gets hot, then I'm going to add in my Dijon mustard. Don't forget to salt your pasta water. You know, while this is simmering, I'm going to add in a little bit of minced onions so they can kind of rehydrate a little bit. Not a lot, maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. Just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. Don't forget to give your pasta a good stir once you pour them in to ensure that they do not stick together. Well, I mean, I guess nothing ensures that, but gives it a good chance that it won't. Okay, so while our noodles boil and our sauce thickens, I'm gonna prep the rest of my ingredients. I had last time I was at Costco, I bought a variety pack of sliced cheeses, and it came with Swiss. So I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. So as soon as we got home, I took the Swiss out, and I had we had bought ham and roast beef and turkey anyway, and slice our own lunch meat. So I took a chunk of ham off and I cut it up into little chunks and threw it in the freezer in anticipation of making this casserole at some point. And so tonight's the night. So I'm cutting up my cheese. I'm cutting up my cheese, and I'm going to break it all apart because once the casserole is put all together, like the chicken and the ham and the sauce and the noodles are all mixed together. Then I'll put the cheese in and give it a little stir because I don't want to put them in too early because I don't want them to melt yet, because then I'm going to do a butter crumb topping and put it on top and then pop it in the oven. And then so when it melts in the oven, it will be like gooey and taste good instead of melting. Well, I mean, I guess either way, but this is just how I'm doing it. Gonna wait till the last to throw it in, and then see. Should be enough. But I took out some freshly sliced mozzarella cheese. So if I don't feel like it's enough, I can chop up some of the mozzarella and mix it in too, so it can be creamy, cheesy, ooey gooey. You know what I think I'm going to do is, to my sauce, I'm going to add a couple spoonfuls of this whipped cream cheese. I think that will be good and make it creamy and thicken it up a little bit and give it a mild taste, since we're not going to be adding any cheese to the mixture to make it like a cheese sauce or Alfredo sauce. You could totally add regular cream cheese. You could add Zaborzen. You could add some kind of, excuse me, any other, like an herb cream cheese. You could add anything you want. And actually, you don't even have to add it at all. Initially, my plan was not to add it. And then I was just thinking, I bought this and you need to use it. You can just start adding a little bit into um, different dishes to give it like a light little creaminess. I was also thinking of adding like cream of chicken soup, but I don't know if that would make it too much of a flavor. I don't know if it's kind of, no, I don't think it's quite the flavor profile. I don't know. I think it may be good. Let's get this mixed and incorporated and taste it and go from there. Now that I'm thinking about it, I am not going to add the cream of chicken soup because I have this heavy whipping cream base. But if I didn't have the heavy whipping cream, I would use the cream of chicken soup. I would heat it up so it thins out a little bit and add a little milk or water to it to thin it out enough to be like a cream sauce, and then add the Dijon mustard to it and then the regular little seasonings and use that for a creamy base for my casserole. That would be good too. Okay, I think that thickened up quite nicely. I'm going to add a little bit of the Dijon. I think I'm going to start with one tablespoon. We'll give it a mix and we'll taste it and see. I don't want to get it too overpowering. It's easier to add more, but you can't take it out. Okay, simmered for about 10 minutes. It's nice and thick. Looks beautiful. It's a smidge thicker, but I'm going to drain my noodles. Or actually, I'm going to just scoop my noodles and put them in here so the pasta water will thin it out. Or I'm going to drain them and I'll reserve about a cup of the pasta water, and then see if we need to add it to help loosen this up a little bit. Oh, we almost forgot to taste it. Ooh, yum. I am going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Not a lot. Just a little shake. Turn the heat off. I don't want it to get any thicker. I got my oven preheated to 375. Whoa. Oh man. Perfect. let's go drain our noodles. I think I'm just going to, I drained my noodles. I think I'm just going to add them to this pan and toss them in the sauce. Okay, I'm going to get these all tossed around, coated in the sauce, and then I'm going to put it in the casserole dish. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just bake it in an aluminum pan, a disposable aluminum pan. Make cleanup easy. So I'm going to put this in the aluminum pan and then add my ham, add my chicken, and give it a stir. And then I will add my Swiss cheese. And then we'll put the buttered breadcrumb top on top. Okay, to my pan, I'm going to add my pasta. Actually, I'm going to get a spatula. Get all this goodness. Okay. Scrape all the goodness off. Get all the sauce because we have chicken and ham to coat as well. Okay. I'm just going to add all this ham. It's probably a cup, a little more, cup and a half. And then we'll do about the same for the chicken. We'll do about half this. Ooh, sorry. Give that a mix. And this was just rotisserie chicken I had boiled and picked. And I can't remember, we had it for a meal, and then the rest of it I put in the freezer. A lot of times I'll get a couple rotisserie chickens from Costco, and then we'll eat them that night for dinner, or I'll just get them and we'll pick them, or I'll boil them and make stock and then freeze the chicken. It's so easy to make something with shredded chicken, and it's a lifesaver to have just a bag of shredded chicken. It takes no time to unthaw, and then you can make so many different casseroles. You can make so many dishes. You can do salad. You can do tacos. You can do nachos. You can make barbecue chicken sandwiches. I mean, seriously, possibilities are endless. Okay. That looks fantastic. So let's get the butter and the breadcrumbs. Should I use breadcrumbs or panko? I'm not sure, but we'll get that and we'll get that ready, because then I'll do the cheese and then I'll do the topping and then we'll throw it in the oven. Okay, I have melted about a half a stick of butter, and I'm going to use some Italian style panko breadcrumbs. I'm just seeing, because one time I had panko and breadcrumbs, both 2 open cans, so I just mixed them together. So I'm just trying to see if this is that can, but actually I think maybe it is. Either way, it really doesn't matter. I'm not sure. Maybe a half a cup. Toss them around and get them all buttery moist. Okay. All right, my topping is done. My casserole has cooled off because of the chicken and ham were cold because they were fresh out of the refrigerator. So I'm going to add in my Swiss cheese and give that a stir. I debated on putting like a layer of, or breaking it up and putting a little bit of this Parmesan cheese on top and then doing the breadcrumb, but I'm afraid that may be just too much cheese, if there could be such a thing. So I will not. I'm gonna just kind of flatten it down a little bit. And then sprinkle our topping on top. Okay. Gonna use my hands. Fresh, clean hands. These are God's best tools that He has given you. Get it all evenly spread. I don't want any noodles poking up because I don't want them to get all hard and crispy. So if I have any little turtle head poking out, I'm gonna push them back in. I whack them all with the noodles. Okay, casserole's ready to be put in the oven. I'm going to cook it for about 20 minutes on 375, and then I'll check it from there. Because remember, everything's cooked. We're just basically heating it up and kind of crisping up that top. So about 15, 25, between 15 and 25 minutes, about 15 minutes, I'm going to start watching for it. And remember, once you can kind of start smelling it, that's usually to the point to where it's you need to start checking it. Dinner's in the oven. Let's get those people fed and get them to bed. And just like that, a 30-minute midweek weeknight meal is done. Simple and easy, quick and on the table to feed your family and make it through half the week. You're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, dinner is done. Come make a plate and have a seat. Tell me about your day. Tell me about your weekend plans because they're coming up pretty quick. Don't forget, come back on Friday where we have Fun Fixin' Friday. I think we're going to have a little family fun night and living by the motto, we have food at home. I think I'm going to make KFC bowls. So come on back and watch me do that. Thanks for making dinner with me. Love ya.